Hey, it's Melisa. All right, today is a tutorial on crow pose. So I have tons of students always asking, what do I need to do with crow? Is it about strength? Is it about balance? I have this fear of falling on my face, all of these things. So it is a little bit about strength, and it is a bit about fear, and it is about balance. But you work with wherever you're going to work. So first, what I'd like you to do, just going to warm up your core a little bit. Go ahead and have a seat down onto your mat. You will need a block, or if you don't have a block, grab a really thick textbook, something like that. Dogs usually don't work like that. All right, so start to lower all the way down. Once you lower down, you will gently press your lower back into the floor and bring both legs up off of the floor. Okay, Lucy, you're going to come over here. Of course, this is what happens, right? Whenever we get down on the ground, it's like the dogs just kind of are drawn to wherever we are. Okay, so here what you'll do is press your lower back all the way down in toward the floor so that your low back is making complete contact with the mat. Lucy, no. Then bring your feet all the way together and lie down onto the back. So you'll feel your core start to work. Take your arms straight up to the sky, then make little fists and circle your wrists, circle, circle, circle. Then switch directions, circle, circle, circle. Now in crow pose, there is a lot of core, but there's also a lot of wrist strength and wrist flexibility. So you'll notice that if you're not able to reach about a 90-degree angle right here at the wrist, then you'll want to slowly improve your wrist flexibility. So you take your hands up to the sky as if you were standing on the ceiling with your hands. Now you'll notice that my feet are pretty far away from my bottom. In our crow pose, we're actually pulling our heels toward our butt. So when we're upside down, it feels a little bit different, but draw your heels toward your bottom, nod your chin toward your chest, and lift your head off of the ground. Okay, Lucy, no. Draw your knees right into your armpits. Flex your whole upper body up. Notice how your feet want to move away. They do. So you have to keep pulling your heels toward your bottom. Nod a little bit more. Engage your core. Think you want your core to get into this small, tiny little ball, as small as you can. And notice now if your knees actually touch your triceps or around your armpits. They may or they may not. Now, when we're balancing there, you're going to want to make contact. So if they don't, you're just kind of noticing that. Hold for 5, hold for 4. So my sacrum is off of the ground. Hold for 3, hold for 2, hold for 1, and rock all the way up. Okay, now once you come on up, take a knee out to the side, take the other knee out to the side, hold on just behind your knees, just bring your feet together, hold here. Breathe 5, breathe 4, breathe 3, breathe 2, breathe 1, and bring your feet back down onto the ground. Okay, so now my feet are all the way together here. I'm sitting right onto my sitting bones. When we're in a crow pose, we actually round our low back quite a bit and take your hands straight out in front of you. So you'll notice that we're kind of round the upper back as well here, and draw one knee toward your triceps or armpit. You're just seeing if you can make contact. So if this isn't possible, if your knee comes all the way out here, we do bend our elbows in a crow pose, so you can bend your elbows and you might still make contact, but we want to try to get our knee up as high onto our triceps as possible, so that even if you start to slide down, you're not going to slide right off your elbow. And that's usually when we face plant. Bring the other knee up into your triceps. Breathe 5, breathe 4, breathe 3, breathe 2, breathe 1. Take the foot down, circle your wrist, circle, circle, circle. C curve with your spine, brace your core, press the floor away from you, bring both knees into your triceps and bring your big toes all the way together. Lower your heels toward your bottom, breathe 5, breathe 4. Now the natural reaction for our head is to look toward our feet, but don't do that, you're gonna look up. 2, and breathe 1. Take your feet down. All right, good. Now you'll grab your block and have a perch onto your block. So take the block maybe a third of the way down your mat. And that's so your hands can actually be on the floor. Now here my heels are together and my toes are apart. You can lift and lower a couple of times. Lift and lower, lift and lower. And as I start to bend into a toe squat position, I'm still keeping my heels together. So this just gives us a little bit of lift so that you're not trying to lift your whole body up. Now we're already elevated away from the floor. Take your hands down, shoulder distance apart. I always like my index fingers to make the number 11. And you'll notice that our elbows want to go out toward the side. Do your best to roll your elbows back behind you. So they're not going out. Roll them back. Engage your inner thighs to bring your knees into your armpits. So we're getting into this really small little ball. Now from here, I start to lift my heels up. My butt's going to come up. So I'm not picking my body up. I'm not using strength to get there. I'm actually just shifting the balance a little bit. And I'll look forward. So remember, the tendency is going to be to look toward your feet. Don't look at your feet. Look ahead. The weight of my head is going to counteract the weight of my bottom, and I find a little equilibrium there. So you engage your inner thighs. You can start with picking one foot up, then pick the other foot up. Maybe you pick both feet up. Oh, I should say too, with your fingers, it's really important that you press each of your 10 finger pads into the ground. So my hands are pretty flat, but I'm pretending like I'm Spider-Man. Like if I wanted to climb up something using your finger pads, if anyone's rock climbers, really use that, because that's going to keep you from folding forward. Start to use your fingers a whole lot. And if your hands aren't strong yet, you can grab one of those like stress balls. Those are really good. They strengthen your forearms and your fingers. So I look forward. I'm pressing the floor away from me. Pick one foot up, pick the other foot up, then bring your big toes together and lift your heels toward your butt. Now, if you're like, I can do it with a block, but I want to do it without a block. Same thing. Hands down onto the ground, make the number 11 with your pointer fingers, roll your elbows back, engage your inner thighs and round. You are in a tiny little ball shape. From here, I'm just shifting my weight forward. I lift my butt up, I pick my feet up, and I'm using my finger pads to keep me from face planting on Lucy. Tug of war. Oh my goodness. So I hope that was helpful. Always circle your wrist, give a little love to your wrists. All of these kinds of things help a lot. All right, have fun working on your crows and taking flight, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.